Hello everybody and welcome to the YouTube character profile upload for Katy Harris. Welcome. It's just a short one this week and this was recorded for episode 79 of the podcast back in...
2014.
Was it? It was 2014, wasn't it? This was recorded originally on the week that Hayley Cropper took her own life.
That's
and,
right.
Who couldn't forget that? I don't know whether people
can... Say it like everyone can forget that.
I'm saying nobody can forget that.
I know, but you said it like, who could forget that? Like...
Well,
I
tell you what people can forget, and that's Katy Harris.
Oh, who?
Because she wasn't necessarily a major character. She was one that I quite liked. I liked Alicia Joe Hudson who played her. And we thought that this week would be just right for revisiting her, didn't we, for YouTube? Because
she is diabetic.
Yes.
And so is Summer.
Yes, that is the reason, exactly. Summer got diagnosed, as we're recording this week, in June 2021. Summer's been diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, and Katy also had a bit of an issue, bit of a diabetic problem.
I don't think you can have a bit of one.
Yeah, no, she was diabetic.
Yes, she was type 1.
We've
just
made
like
the
Summer.
link and uploaded her. So, this was actually originally a lot longer of a character profile than the actual episode, wasn't it? We waffled on completely off topic from Katy Harris for at least half of it. So we've done a little bit of snipping, see if you can notice the joins. And we've boiled it down to pure, unadulterated Katy Harris pleasure for you to enjoy.
Maybe we haven't.
I don't know. We'll have to find out.
We definitely talk about who's in number 6, but I can't remember when...
Yeah.
Whether we cut that out.
Doesn't matter. Anyway, I hope you will enjoy listening to this, and we're not going to come back and do an outro or anything, so that's it. Bye! Right, character profile, classic character profile this week, and we've plucked Katy Harris out of the Corrie history books. Not a big major character, but she was in it for a couple of years in the mid-2000s, so we thought we'd see what she got up to before taking her own life. She was born on the 26th of September 1985 and died...
1986.
Oh, sorry, I can't even read that. 1986. And she died on the 20th of April 2005. Her parents were Tommy and Angela Harris and her brother was Craig Harris. She first appeared on the 13th of November 2002 and she last appeared on the 20th of April 2005, having played in 281 episodes. She is played by Lucy Jo Hudson, who is married to Alan Halsall. So still kind of linked to the show in some ways, I guess. So the Harris family might not ring any bells for some Corrie viewers at the moment because they were a bit of a flash-in-the-pan family. And they weren't even called the Harrises when they came in at all. They were this mysterious Nelson family who moved into number 6 after... Dr. Ramsden moved out. So the family was the mum Angela, the dad Tommy, and the son Craig, and then Katy, the older sister. Craig and Katy were both teenagers. And Kieran Roberts, who was the producer at the time, had said, "We're very excited about the arrival of the Nelsons on Coronation Street, not just because of their intriguing and dramatic family history, but also because the 4 superb actors who play the Nelsons are going to be a tremendous addition to the cast." So it's kind of sad that they only lasted a few years. I don't think I minded the family that much. I mean, I quite like Katy. I wasn't too much into Craig. Angela, I thought, was a fairly good actress, but they didn't really do anything with her. And Tommy was just kind of turned into another one of the mechanics in the end.
Yeah.
One of the string of Tommies that were working at the garage.
Yeah, that's the thing.
They had the idea of them coming in on the witness protection programme.
You're just giving it away.
Yeah, sorry. Well, they were doing a profile. And they didn't really seem to have a whole lot to do with them after that. But it was a good idea to have characters that are under witness protection, I thought.
Yeah, it was good, interesting. Lucy Jo Hudson was 18 when she started playing Katy, who was 16. She said, "I still can't believe I'm here on Coronation Street. I'm a bit starstruck, really, but everyone's lovely here and so down to earth. I'm loving it. Katy's a great character to play. She's a bit of a cow, actually. She knows how to get her own way and she twists her dad around her little finger."
Yes. So it all started in 2002 when the Nelsons moved into Coronation Street. And we find out as viewers fairly soon that they're under the witness protection plan. And it's all because Angela was due to testify because she'd seen this... Gangland murder in a pub in Sheffield, I think that they were from. So that secret came out relatively soon. In early 2003, which was kind of Katie's biggest year probably, she got to know Tyrone, and he had romantic feelings towards her.
Oh, in real life.
Yeah, I know, that's probably where it all... No, it's not where it all sprung from. They started dating a couple of years after that, I think. But anyway,
Sowing the seed.
she didn't reciprocate his romantic feelings towards her.
But she did pass out when she had a drink with him, and it turns out that she's diabetic.
Yes, they were having a friendly drink together, and it looked like she was drunk, but it wasn't.
Was there not a scene where somebody saw her putting, injecting herself and thought she was a drug addict, or was that a different soap? I'm sure there was a scene in a soap.
I don't know, probably. I'm sure that was in there somewhere, but it was... That was when it was discovered that she was diabetic, so it wouldn't have been then anyway, because she came home and she was all kind of...
Weird.
Yeah, and Tommy thought that Tyrone had got her drunk, but yeah, it turns out that she was diabetic.
Influence.
So when she was at the hospital, that's when she got to know Martin Platt, who's the nurse.
Yeah.
And that was when the relationship between them started blossoming.
Stupidly, she goes to meet her friends in Sheffield and gets followed by the brothers of the guy that Angela had testified against, ends up getting held hostage by them, and Tommy gets shot when he tries to rescue her.
He was okay, though.
So that was
Not
all
shot
a bit stupid of her.
Yeah. But first, I suppose it was just like supposed to be like a teenager, like caring more about partying than...
I'll remember the days well.
But anyway, that's when they reverted back to their name of Harris, because the secret was out. Like we said before, she started growing closer to Martin Platt that year, despite the 20-year age gap between them.
Age means nothing on Coronation Street.
No, but it was a big thing back then, and lots of people...
It would be.
Yeah, because she was what, 16,
Age
17?
gaps don't mean so much when you're
older
adults, but when one of you is a teenager, it's like quite significant.
Yeah.
They start seeing each other, and they convince Tyrone to pretend to be Katie's boyfriend so they can hide the relationship.
Yeah, but they didn't hide it for long.
No, you can't hide anything on a soap for very long. Tommy goes ballistic when he finds out that they're going out with each other, and he refuses to have anything to do with her, which is a good way of screwing up your relationship with your children. She moves out and goes and lives with Martin.
Yeah, although her and Martin did temporarily split up at the end of the year because he had hidden the fact that Sarah Louise was pregnant from her. So she was like, oh, you're just treating me like a kid. And I think she wanted him to see her as an equal.
Yeah.
Despite this massive age gap. So Craig found out about this relationship, and he didn't like the idea of his older sister going out with Martin. So he tampered with Martin's brakes. He got into a car crash. Anyway, the families agreed to make amends after Christmas because things were getting a little bit out of hand. So there was some semblance of peace between Martin and Katy and Angela and Tommy by the end of the year.
In 2004, she discovered that her gay friend Carl was having an affair with Todd, who was actually going out with Sarah Louise at the time, and she doesn't say anything to Martin, but when he finds out she had known, he splits up with her.
Because Sarah Louise was Martin's daughter.
I know that.
No, was she? No, she wasn't.
They
Sarah
were a
Louise
family.
was... Yeah, they were not their stepdaughter.
But they get back together again, and she decides that she wants to get married, but he doesn't really want to. So she stops taking her pills and gets pregnant.
I remember that scene where she was like peeling away the backs of them or replacing. So I don't know whether she was replacing them with something or. But yeah, she was tricking him, and it worked because by early 2005.
I don't think you'd need to be that elaborate, would you? Just be like, yep. Most men don't check up on you.
No. 2005.
Obviously, you should do. You should be more paranoid, men.
2005. Angela and Tommy think that Sally is having an affair with Martin. She's actually not. She's having an affair with Ian Davenport.
Yeah, but he's hunky though, isn't he?
Who? Ian Davenport or Martin?
Yeah, both of them.
Yeah. They tell Katy that Martin is having this affair with Sally, so she has an abortion because she has managed to get pregnant by then. It didn't take her very long. When she discovers
my
that...
other half's having an affair, time to punish the baby.
Yeah, exactly. When she discovered that Martin had actually been faithful for her, she desperately tried to get back with him, but he refuses. Katy then confronts Tommy, who crows that he's pleased that she's had an abortion. Maybe he shouldn't have done that. Because
should have kept stum, shouldn't he, really?
Yeah, because in a fit of rage, Katy whacks him round the head with a wrench, which killed him. That was a bit of a shock. by this time they'd already decided that the characters were being written out, or that the whole family was pretty much going to be dropped, apart from Craig, who managed to last another year and a half or so. I don't think that... I can't remember how shocked I was at the time then, but I don't think Katy particularly struck me as someone who would lash out and kill her dad.
It's quite exciting though, wasn't it?
It was very exciting, because when she did it, I think that we got to see her face as she did it, and then from behind her shoulder, Angela
Yeah,
was
that was
watching
good when
there.
she came in and saw it happening. Originally, when they reported this was going to happen, they said that they were going to have a row when she told him that she was pregnant, and then she stabs him with a kitchen knife.
Yeah, that was
But
on
I
an
think
old report.
They must have changed their mind, because that's a bit graphic, really, isn't it?
Yeah, and I thought it was more exciting. It was better the way it was anyway. Just whack around the head with a
just
wrench.
Whack.
So Angela tries to take the rap because she's such a good mum. Well, she tries to make
No,
up
she
Martin
doesn't.
Taylor blame at first, but then eventually she kind of takes the blame
Well, the
herself.
forensic evidence points at her, so she says, yeah, it was me.
Yeah, because it was found out that she was at the scene of the crime.
Yeah. So Katy goes back to Sheffield for a week, and then she comes back and writes a confession letter. And then she eats sugar until she goes into a coma.
She's diabetic, remember?
Yeah, but I've done that. She goes into a diabetic coma and dies in hospital with Craig at her side.
Yeah, and despite being cleared of murder, Angela still stayed in prison for conspiring to pervert the course of justice.
Which is actually probably the most realistic thing that ever happened in that whole storyline.
So that was the end of the Harris family, really. Apart from Craig, like I said, stayed on for a bit, turned into a goth, went out with Rosie for a bit. So there we go.
I quite like this little dramatic sort of standalone storyline almost.
Yeah, but it does kind of go to show what revolving door that number 6 has at the moment, and the Windasses have done pretty well lasting there for 6 years. But they're very much of the same
They are a bit
ilk
temporary, aren't they?
as the Harrises, because there was also the Mortons that lived there in between then, and they just don't seem to be able to get anyone to stick there.
I think it's haunted. Tommy's haunting it.
Oh yeah, probably.
That's because people keep saying his name and he gets confused and comes out.
You talking about me, Tommy?
Oh, no, I haven't left. I'm here. I'm still here. Tina, why?
Well, anyway, by the time that she was sacked, Lucy Jo Hudson was actually quite relieved, because she thought that the glamorous life of being a soap star would be wonderful and fabulous, but actually it was a bit hard work. She said that she was, in some interviews that she was doing at the end, she said, "I'm fed up of crying for 12 hours a day, 6 days a week. It's been more draining than I ever imagined. I hope I've risen to the challenge, but when they told me I was leaving, I was relieved. It was sad they wanted to kill me off, but to be honest, I'd had enough. I never want to work on a soap again. The work is so hard and it's too high profile. People say I was the favourite member of the Harris family because I got more storylines, but that was only because of Katy's links with Martin Platt. We were wasted. We should have had some bigger storylines. It annoys me that they only realised talent once they let them go. They gave Richard, which was Richard Fleischman, who played Craig, a big storyline, and then realised actually he's quite good. He's a great little actor, and they're keeping him on now. They'd have been daft to let him go."
And they did.
They did let him go not long
Another
after
year
that.
and a half later, and he was only in 30 more episodes than Katy was.
Richard Fleischman was the guy whose sister, my sister, knew, isn't it? She
Yeah.
went to drama school with her or something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, but yeah, that was
And
the end of
he
the.
tried to start a pop career, didn't he?
Oh yeah, he did. Yeah, I remember that. And he was the son of the actress who played Gloria Todd, who we
That's
saw at the
right.
Curry Fest.
That's
It's all
right.
linking up.
Now, as we've mentioned before, Lucy Jo Hudson became a regular as Rosie Trevanian
Yeah,
in Wild at Heart between 2006 and 2009.
yeah, that's been the main
Obviously,
thing that she's done since.
Because
Isn't
it's
it?
kind of soapy, but it's not quite as intense as Corrie. And she gets to go on holiday.
I know, he gets to go to Africa. It's nice.
I know what side her bread's buttered on.
I think I quite like Sophie. But I think
Sophie?
Katy, see, this is such an important character. I don't even remember who I'm talking about. I did quite like her because
I liked her. I liked the whole family. I still
Angela
remember
was
what they
great.
look like.
Yeah, which is
think-
more than can be said for some of the fleeting families.
I think they were very much sort of cookie cutter characters, though. I mean, Anna is very much like Angela.
Yeah, very much.
Tommy
actually.
is just, as you said, a mechanic.
Yeah, and then there were two
Two
teenage.
kids.
Yeah, the witness protection idea was a great way to introduce them, but they didn't know what to do with them then, because then they were just a family, really.
Yeah.
I don't know what they can do with with that house, because all the other houses, they kind
Well-
of drip. They have people half moving in, and then it's like people that have been in the show for a while, and then they move into the street as like a rites of passage in a way. But this house number 6, it's just like new families, and viewers are often hostile to that. 'Cause it's like, what are you doing?
Yeah, but
You don't belong on this street.
They've been there for 6 years now, the new family.
The Windasses.
Yeah.
I know, but they still feel temporary to me. I don't know why.
I know what you mean.
They don't. They feel separate from everyone else.
Yeah, they do. Well, never mind.
Yeah.